Hello and welcome to Read the Last Page,
a Yap session
book club
with your two favorite long-distance best friends.
The book we read this month is The Extraordinary Disappointments of Leopold by Ransom Riggs.
And since we finally read the last page, let's talk about it. Hi B, how are you?
I'm so good for many reasons. Biggest one being I got engaged.
Yes.
So what's funny is the last time we recorded was actually the day before I got engaged. And since we missed a Yap sesh.
Oh yeah,
we
just haven't.
Yeah, if you don't like follow us on Instagram and stuff, you might not know, but yeah, I got engaged like just about a month ago, coming up on a month now. Yeah, I'm so happy. And his name is Seth, if you guys don't know.
Yes, of course.
And he got me this ring that is like just so exactly what I wanted. I told him a lot of details about what I wanted and also what I didn't want, but I was like, but I want you to like, like actually pick it and design it. I didn't want to just like send a link of like, this is what I want,
Yes.
And
yes.
I didn't know it was coming. It's not like he said, "Oh, I'm going to propose. What ring do you want?" I just a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, I was like, "By the way, whenever the time comes, if it comes, like by the way, here's what I like." But yeah. And he also like wrote me a really, really sweet note that like made me cry, and like it was so good. And yeah.
Do you feel like sharing where he proposed? Where you guys got engaged?
Yeah, we went to the top of the Rockefeller Center, which if you've never been up there, I had never been up there. The building itself is really, really tall. And then we had like the VIP tour, so we got special treatment and everything, and we got to sit on this ledge and recreate that picture of the guys in like, I think it's like the 30s or 40s, where they're like taking their lunch break just out on the beam. Of course ours was like over the building, but it looks like we're like out over everything. And then we went up in this like, I think they called it like the sky lift, which when in my head when he said that, or like when the tour guide said that, I was imagining like a ski lift of something, but it was like a platform, sort of like this cylinder thing. It was like clear glass all the way around, but you were like in there and then it rose up, and it's like the tallest unobstructed view of the city.
New York? Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So he asked me up there. It was just us two.
And
the guy
scary?
like the guy operating it as well.
She's like,
funny.
"Yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of this."
There's like these like cameras that are up there that take like these cool like panorama pictures of you when you're up there. So Seth like got down on one knee, asked me to marry him. I'm like, giggling like crazy, like hugging him, and the guy's like, "Do you guys want your picture?" And we're like, "Oh yeah." So
I love that. It's a real one.
Yeah. And he
That's
had
cool.
gotten my roommate Heidi involved. She was there. I didn't know. So she took some pictures of us from the roof, like from her view of us up there. And then we like went to a really nice dinner. We called my parents, all that kind of stuff. And when I got back to my apartment, Kelly and Heidi had like decorated, and like they had a cake for me and like, well, for us, and champagne, and like we had like a little tiny sort of engagement party, like celebration at home. And that's when I like called my sisters, I called you, called like my grandma and stuff. So yeah, it was really awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I could tell when you called me, you guys were all so giggly and cute.
Yeah.
You had a little tiara on. It was so adorable.
Yeah. I called my mom like after he proposed. Then we were just kind of still hanging out up on the Rockefeller, the top of the rock. And I was like, well, I want to call my parents. I was like, everybody else can wait, but like I need to call my mom. And so I called my mom, and I had Seth like off screen. But it was just me. But of course, like my hair was curled. I had my makeup. Like I had my contacts in instead of my glasses. So my mom was like, "Oh, you look so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then I was like, "Is Dad around?" She was like, "No, he's out mowing or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, like, do you think you could go get him?" And she, like, her jaw dropped. She like, "Oh, so, well, are you okay? Let me go get him." Like, I think she knew once I asked, like, "Can you and Dad be together?" You know,
right.
And so then I like told him, and then I like showed Seth on the screen and everything. But yeah, and then like I went to Seth's like apartment. We were hanging out with his family. Like I don't know, a few days after that, and like his mom, first thing she said was like, "Hi, future daughter-in-law," and like gave me a big hug. It was so cute and nice. So
that is so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, yay.
So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like every day there's been some things that have been hard in the past month, my eye and stuff.
Yeah.
I got a scratch on my cornea, and it's caused a lot of grief. Doing a lot better now, but
Good.
it's just like, but every day it's like, oh, but I have a scratched cornea as a fiance. You know, so it's like it's like it makes everything better.
That is so real. For some reason, there's something about being a fiance for me that I'm like, that is so like chic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and you know this, but like I'm not so keen on the idea of like marriage. I mean, it's fine. I'm just like lukewarm. But something about being a fiance, I'm like, yes, like it's literally.
It's like, yeah, he wants to be mine, you know.
And it's like you know, you're only a fiance for like a small portion of time, and most people are only fiancés once in their life. Like you can have a string of boyfriends and girlfriends or whatever, but like fiancés are like, like it's a real like cherished point in your life, and I feel like it's so fun and exciting. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, yay. Congratulations. I'm so happy you shared on the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, I realized, I was like, wait, I haven't really told yet.
Yeah, because we like record once every 7 years now, it seems like.
Right. Yeah, I've told like a few people. I mean, obviously I've told a lot of people, but in a few like sort of more like random scenarios. And then I'm like, I got engaged.
Oh, hey.
And then, you know, everyone's like, what? Oh my gosh. I'm like, I was telling these girls that I was talking to, and I was like, yeah. I was like, sorry, I didn't really know the right way to bring that up. Like, I feel kind of silly. And they're like, no, like, people want to hear that. Like, it makes people so happy to hear. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like when you're expecting a baby and everyone's like, a baby! Like, yeah, it's so
like,
true.
It's, like, exciting, but I'm like, I don't know, like, the right way to bring it up, but I want to tell people, you know.
You're just, like, walking around with that nice ring. And like,
I'm like,
hey.
Yeah, I'm like, is everyone aware that this is new? Like,
why is no one staring at this?
Right.
Is it weird having, well, I mean, you wear rings a lot. I don't know. I feel like it'd be weird for me to have a ring on all the time, but like, are you liking having the ring on?
Oh yeah, no, I wear rings every day.
Yeah, so no big diff.
I usually wear, before this, like I would usually wear a ring on this finger or on my middle finger.
Oh, nice.
So the feeling, actually, yesterday I think was the first time that I wore a ring on my right hand since getting engaged. Like I've only been wearing my engagement ring. But I was like, I want to start like trying to incorporate my old rings back in. But yeah, it actually feels like I've been wearing less on my hands because I'm only wearing the one. Okay. And like the girl that I nanny like a week ago, she was like, why aren't you wearing as many rings? I'm like, well, because this one's kind of the star of the show. Like, I don't know.
It's like, that's the accessory. Like, we don't want to overpower the hand right now.
Right. I was like, but this is like, real gold with a real diamond. Yeah. And I was like, it's made out of diamond. And the little boy, he's like, your ring is made out of dynamite? I was like, okay. I was like, diamond,
would be like, I'm done with the chemistry lessons today, I think.
Yeah.
We're stopping.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, and like whenever I'm in a place that has like good lights, I'm just like staring at it, like moving my finger around, like watching the sparkles. So
yeah, I would be doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Too, so that's so real. That's so real.
Yeah, it took me, I would say I'm more used to it now, but for the first like week or two, I felt like I was like playing with my mom's ring, or like at the jewelry store I used to work at, we had some like nice vintage rings, and sometimes I would like try them on. Like I felt like I was like playing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, like that's actually mine. Like
and I get to wear it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ever scared of like losing it, or it probably wouldn't fall off, but like like losing it, like taking it off to like wash dishes or something?
Yeah, I'm like at home I have my ring box, and it's like, okay, if I take it off at home, it goes in the ring box.
Yeah.
When I'm like nannying, I have a few places where like if I need to take my ring off to wash my hands, like I know exactly where it is, because I am worried, because I can be a forgetful person, but I feel like this is like I'm going to remember, you know. I'm setting the foundation of like being keenly aware of where it is at all times, so that like it's become second
nature.
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
like even I find myself like just all the time when I'm walking, like using my thumb to like feel that the band is there, you know. Like, okay, it's there. It's not gonna fall off, like it fits me perfect, so that's good. It would just be like if I took it off for some reason and didn't put it back on, but I'm like taking the steps to make sure that like there's never a situation where that would happen. Like sometimes if I need to take it off, I might like set it on my phone, like if I'm in I don't know, like a bathroom, and it's like, okay, I don't want to like get soap all on my ring. It's like I would set my ring on my phone because I'm not gonna forget my phone, you know.
True.
Like stuff like that.
That's smart. Yeah, that's good. Good practices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you just let me like plague you with all the questions that I would have, because I've never.
Yeah.
I don't talk to engaged people every day. So.
Yeah. But yeah. In other news, I've danced in a couple shows recently, and like I said, I had a scratched cornea, and I was like couldn't open my eye really, and like I was in pain, and it's doing better. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to hopefully get a referral for an ophthalmologist. But it also seems like it's healing, so that's good.
That's good, yeah.
But it's like I want to like make sure that there's not like any lasting damage.
Yeah. Eyes are crazy because like I'm just like so much I feel like could go wrong with the eyes. Like it's like the tiniest little thing can like scratch your eye. I was talking to my coworker the other day, and she just casually told me, she was like, oh yeah, I went to the eye doctor a few months ago, and they told me I had a hole in my eye.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, we don't know how that got there, but like your eye is like working overtime to fix it, so like it's fine, you don't even notice. But like the tiniest little holes in her eye, and I was like, how does that even happen? So I'm like, there's just so much that I don't know that can happen to the body.
Yeah.
That it just like, I'm like, I can't with any eyes. Like eye pain specifically sounds awful.
Because online it was like, oh, a scratch would usually heal in like 2 to 3 days, but if it doesn't, like it could have lasting damage that leaves scarring and could cause loss of vision. I was like, oh,
so
okay,
it could be like a minor like injury.
So I was like,
right,
so like, am I going blind? Like it's been scary, but
yeah.
But now that it seems to be on the mend, I'm like less anxious about it. But
that's good.
Yeah. But how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm in like the final 2 weeks of my spring semester.
Right.
This has been a toughie, but we're getting through it.
Yeah. Girls get through it.
I know. What really sucks is just like the next, because really there's like let me think. My final project's due May 9th, and it's currently April 28th. So I guess I have 11 days or something until it's over.
Yeah.
But the next 11 days are going to be my own personal hell.
Yeah.
Kind of the worst part of the semester, but
yeah.
And the semester's already been really hard, so it's I'm kind of running on fumes at this point, but it's okay. Because the second it's May 9th, I'm done.
It's
I'm
whatever happened,
yeah,
out of your hands.
It just, I mean, it sucks. I mean, unless I massively fail either one of my final projects, and then I get a C, and then I can't pass the class and have to take it again.
Yeah.
But hopefully that won't happen.
That probably won't happen, though.
Knock on wood. But, yeah. It's okay, though. So I've just been really busy lately, which has sucked, because I haven't had a lot of time to do, basically anything that's, for me. I just, work all the time. And my body's been taking hits, bro. I literally took off work today because I had such a bad headache yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We've been having a lot of storms in Missouri, tornado storms, which have not been fun. But I think the weather, the pressure of it gave me a really bad headache. And I don't I don't get headaches very often, so I'm not very well equipped for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So every time I was trying to eat something, I just felt really awful.
Yeah.
And then last night I was laying in bed and I stood up and I quite literally almost passed out, and I was okay, that's totally fine.
Oh my gosh.
and so today I just took off work. I was I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna get a head start on my homework.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. And so yeah, that's kind of just been the epic highs and lows.
Yeah.
But
I feel even without the headache, taking a day off to do homework in the last 2 weeks of the semester, that's valid anyways. So even the headache is even more reason no, you needed the extra sleep,
yeah, yeah, it just kind of sucks. I'm I shouldn't have to take PTO to do my homework, especially when it's 3 credit hours, brusky.
Yeah.
I'm I keep telling you, every time I complain about this class, because I've been complaining to everybody. I sent a text to my friend Kara today. She was it's so funny. Every single social media account you have currently is plagued with you complaining about being in a master's program.
Yeah.
And I was I feel the Mean Girls quote where it's I could tell people were getting bored of me, but I couldn't stop.
Wait, that's so funny.
That's literally how I'm feeling. I'm just I have to talk about how miserable I am.
Yeah.
But
that's how I felt about my eye.
Yeah, for real, I bet. Yeah. And it's just whatever, but I'm is it making me stronger? I don't know, maybe. But it is just 3 credit hours, and I'm this should not make me feel crazy.
No, for real.
So it's all good. And then after this, though, I have the whole summer off because I'm not taking a class over the summer, so I'll be free of the torment, which is really great. And I have such a long stack of books that I'm that's gonna be
reading
so
girl
nice
summer.
To read. Yeah, exactly. And one of at the top of the list is our next month's book, which we'll obviously reveal later.
Yay.
But I'm so excited for that one. So that's gonna hopefully be healing. Yeah.
Also, I've seen some movies recently.
Oh, which movies? Did you see Project Hail Mary?
I did see Project Hail Mary.
Huge.
I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to read the book.
Me too.
Think while I did really enjoy the movie, I feel I could see sort of the gaps where I'm I just know if I read the book, there would be more science in there, more just more of everything,
Yeah.
So I already wanted to read the book. I just wasn't gonna be able to read it before I saw it in the theater, and I wanted to make sure I saw it in the theater.
Yes.
So it's even more so now on my list.
Awesome.
And then I also saw this movie called Normal. That has Bob Odenkirk, and he was the main character. It also has the guy who played the Saperstein dad in Parks and Rec.
Okay.
I like John Ralphio's dad. I can't think of his name.
Henry Winkler.
Okay, he was in there too. It was really fun. It was like one of those movies where it's like conspiracy, like the town's covering up something and now they're all shooting each other, and it was like there was definitely some gore though, which I did not know was gonna happen, so I was closing my eyes a lot, but I had Seth with me to tell me when it was clear to look. But it was just sort of like, it was one of those like random, just like what a random story. I don't know, it was like fun. It was like fun. Yeah. And then we also saw Exit 8, if you've heard of that one.
I think I've heard of that one.
It's like based off of a video game. It's originally in Japanese, I think. We were watching it like with subtitles, but there honestly wasn't a ton of talking. But it's based off of a video game, but actually one of the actors was in New York doing promo, where because the video game is like you're walking through the subway platform, but it keeps you have to like, anyways, it's like looping around. So the actor was like in the subway station in New York, like at different times, and like if you found him and said something to him, you were supposed to get a prize. We found him, and
is that what that photo was on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to know this?
So anyways, which we were too late to get to the prize because there was like so many people, but it was like so cool that we saw him, so I was like, well, we have to see the movie now.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Okay.
That's awesome. It was kind of a little bit like Backrooms-esque.
I was just gonna say, when you were explaining it, I was like, this is reminding me of the Backrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of horror in the sense that they're like trapped in this subway tunnel loop, and they're like trying to figure out how to get out, but it's not like horror, like jump scare, like creepy
gory horror.
Yeah. It's
thriller-esque maybe.
But now I just remembered, speaking of Parks and Rec, I have to tell you a story.
Who did you meet?
So today while I was taking my nanny kid back upstairs at his building, you know, the kid I watch, he's little, and he likes to like jest with some of the like the doormen. So the doorman's like talking to him and stuff, and then this couple walks in, and this man, I'm like, I know this man. I was just waiting because the kid that I watch was talking with the doorman, and so this couple's like, oh, we're friends of so and so. They had their suitcases with them. They needed a key. So the doorman's like, oh, nanny kid, come around the desk, like I'm gonna show you how I put this key away, and then we're gonna get a key out for this couple. And I'm like standing like 3 feet from this famous actor, and I'm like, do I say something? But I was like, but what if it's not him? And then so the doorman's like, oh, we need to like, what's your name, for, you know, to write down. So then I remembered his name so that I could look him up, and it's now I can't find it again. Kevin Simon or something. Okay. He plays Dex Hart in Parks and Rec. You know, the guy who's always having all the scandals? Councilman Dex Hart. Because he walked in and I was like, that's Councilman Dex Hart, like 1,000%. So niche. I was like freaking out though, because like I don't know, most of the like celebrities that I've seen have been at like the theater that I work at, or like, I don't know, but this was just like in like the residential building with the family that I watch, like just casually, he's just like going to see his friend, and I'm like,
that's so funny.
I'm like, I don't know, it was just so crazy to me. And then like my nanny kid was like giving him the key. I'm like, I actually talked to him because, I mean, kind of, the kid, you know, I was like, oh, everyone's kind of laughing, and I was like, oh, you know, he's getting special treatment today. And like, so like I spoke to him. Then when we got upstairs, I told my kid, I was like, guess what? You just handed a key to like a famous actor that I know from a TV show that I love. He was like unfazed by it. He was like, okay.
It's so funny that I'm looking at this guy because I was like, I feel like he's been in other things. He's like, so generic white man where it's like he could play like a councilman so easily, or like the dad of somebody. Like he's been in like basically everything. Like he was in an episode of Jessie.
Oh my
god. He was in like Teen Wolf. Like I'm like, actually that's tea. I love that. Wait, that's so niche and random.
And it's like we were so close, like for like many minutes.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It just was like so crazy to me because I'm just like, we're not in like a theater, we're not in like a performing arts space. We're just like in the apartment building. Like, hi.
Yeah, that is so funny to me. You know, did I tell you that last week, maybe 2 weeks ago? So I want to give your story space because like also like that's incredible and I love that you keep running to celebrities. This is my as close as I can get to running into a celebrity story in Missouri as I have.
Okay.
I 2 weeks ago was in my little mid-sized city in Missouri. And I was like downtown. I was like at a coffee shop doing my homework. My roommate Catherine was like, "Did you hear that like Seth Meyers is in St. Louis today yesterday because he had a show and he's going to be in Kansas City tonight for a show." And I was like, "Oh my God, Seth Meyers." Like I'm literally, I don't know if anyone knows this, you guys, I'm like quite deeply sickly obsessed with Seth Meyers, like on a very personal level. It's just because I really like SNL and like he's really important to me. I was like, that's so crazy. I'm literally wearing my Seth Meyers sweatshirt right now because I do have a Seth Meyers sweatshirt and a tote bag. Of course. Anyway, and so I was like downtown in my little Seth Meyers sweatshirt, and I said, "That's crazy. No one knows that they met me at a very Seth Meyers is in Missouri time in my life." I literally was telling people that. Anyway, when we wrapped up, I was like kind of like being a little pouty, but not really, because I was like, "Oh, I can't believe I missed like Seth Meyers in Kansas City or in St. Louis. Like that's my boy." We go home, everything's fine. 10 p.m. at night, I'm on Instagram. Seth Meyers posts a photo downtown my city outside of a restaurant right next to where I was. Obviously it was daytime. He's like, "Stop by here for lunch. Love this restaurant." I said, "Was I downtown at the same time as Seth Meyers?"
So you breathed his air.
I was wearing his shirt. I was like, why did no one tell me? I was so distraught. Like I was literally so upset.
Oh my gosh. Oh, if only like you knew that he was like stopping there, you could have just like casually been walking around all the places to find him.
It like actually makes me so sick to my stomach. And I was telling Catherine that I was like, I can't believe I missed him. She's like, "Well, it's not like you probably would have went up to him." And I was like, "No, I would have like made it his problem, because I would have been like, I'm wearing your t-shirt. I didn't even know you were here." I would have like went up to him like a bro. I would have been like, "Oh my God, I watch you religiously." Anyway, so
that's so close.
I know
you were so close.
It actually pains me, but then I'm also like, you know what? I don't need him to know that I exist. You know what I mean? Like it's like I really actually don't think that's gonna do anything for me. If anything, I'll just like poke and prod at our interaction until it makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh my gosh,
that's what I did with Hosier.
I was gonna say that reminds me of when you met Hosier.
I met Hosier, you guys. Who, by the way, oh my God, 10 years ago, he was 27, I was 17. For some reason, fully thought I'm like I can woo him. I can make it work. It's fine. Oh my God, no. No?
I'm so dead.
Anyway, he's also like genuinely over a foot taller than me.
I was gonna say like 6'5".
Our photo is crazy. I'm like a tiny person next to him. Anyway, but I did the stupid thing because I was like, we were in a really small group with like 5 other people. And someone was like, "Does anyone have any questions for Hosier?" And no one was saying anything, and I was like, this is my chance. And I said, "How do you get your voice to sound like that?" Oh my God, it haunts me. He was so nice. He was like, just like drink a lot of tea, I guess. practice. It was like, yeah. And then the person after me, count your days. He goes, okay, well, I have an actual question.
No, I'm swinging after we walk out.
Like actually down. Pissed me off, but it's totally fine. And so like in my head I'm like, that is actually so silly goofy of me, like actually I'm 17 and meeting like so starstruck over meeting this man. But then I'm also like, sometimes when it's like 1 a.m. and I think of that, I'm like, that makes me want to crawl out of my skin. I can't. But it's okay. He doesn't remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say he never is thinking about this.
No way. And like 1000% people have said weirder things. Like that's not even weird. It's just a little mildly embarrassing.
Yeah.
But people have done worse. So it's totally fine. It's totally fine. And I'm at Hoosier, so it's like I have that.
True. Flex. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay.
I guess we should do
we should talk about our book club. It's just like we haven't done our yap sesh for so long.
Haven't chatted, yeah.
So, okay, do you want me to try to give the description?
Yeah, if you could, that would be nice. We should just start like duking it out over like rock paper scissoring, so that way like we know like we're equally distributing the wealth here or something. I feel like you're always giving the synopsis, and I'm like,
I think it's because I feel like you used to always do it, so I'm like every time I'm
catching up.
I'm like I feel like there's still a debt, and I'm like.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's not how I feel. But also, guys, look, our books are so different if you're watching. Yeah. So I've got like this black cover. I got it from my library, and normal edge pages, and B, you've got like a white cover with black sprayed edges.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Mine is like matte and yours is shiny, but they both look like VHS tapes, like a cover with a VHS in it.
Right. Well, so I think mine only looks shiny because it's from the library, but
right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably matte underneath the film.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
Yeah. How cool though.
For reference, not really about the book content itself, but I got this book from this store in New York called Book Off, and they have all like video game stuff, books, music. It's like resale place, and most of it, especially like the video games, and there's like figures and stuff, like figurines. It's like, they're like high priced, and like the books are like normal. But there's this like $1 section. So of course I only ever look in the $1 section.
That's awesome.
And I found this hardcover, pristine condition, and I picked it up because the cover looked cool. Yeah. And then I'm like reading the description on the inside. Sounds cool. And then I see that's by Ransom Riggs, who wrote Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which I love. So I was like, $1? Like, I felt like I was robbing them. Like, so.
Which it's even crazier because we were talking about this, which I guess this is a good caveat to give before getting into the book. But like, this book, I'm pretty sure came out last year. I hadn't checked the actual.
2024 is what mine said.
Okay, so like, but it's a recent. Yeah, it's a recent read, and like, oh my god, that's so cute. He dedicated it to his wife. Anyway, sorry.
Love.
But like the sequel, it's a sequel, so it's a two. I don't know if it's only gonna be. Sorry, I said that incorrectly. It's not a sequel. There's gonna be a sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like going to be a series or not, or if it's just a duology. But like the sequel comes out in October, so it's like we're pretty timely on this one, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't know how you got it for $1, but
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't even believe it. So okay. So what is this book about? The Extraordinary Disappointments of Leopold Berry.
Which, by the way, too, I pronounced it Leopold.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's Leopold, but like...
Leopold? I don't know. Leopold? Leopold?
I've never heard anyone pronounce that name Leopold.
I've never seen this name before in my life.
Leopold?
No.
Okay, I mean, say whatever. It's okay.
We'll just call him Larry.
Okay, yeah, true. That's his
So... It follows our main character Larry Berry, and he's basically feels like he's a disappointment to his father and to himself, and he's just like, I think he's nearing the end of high school, and so college is on the table, but he's like blah blah blah. anyways, as a kid, he was obsessed with this show called Sunderworld, or I think it's called Adventures in Sunderworld,
Yeah.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's an old TV show. There's one season that he has on VHS that he found after the passing of his mother when he was about 12, I think.
Yeah.
And so he like found it in her stuff or something, and so in the wake of the grief of losing his mother, he kind of sinks himself into this TV show. He gets his best friend Emmett really into it as well. They love to like dress up like they're in the show and like recreate their own scenes. And this is all just like the backstory from when they were 12. But the story takes place when they're seniors in high school. So throughout his life, between the ages of 12 to 18, he has sometimes had episodes of life where he's feels like he's seeing things like that are from the Sunderworld show, like hallucinations basically that he's seeing in real life, and it has warped his sense of reality at times, and he's like his friend has been supportive but also like, okay, like you gotta kind of join the real world. His dad is very not into it, but it's been mostly under control for a while until one day things have gone pretty badly with his father, and he's seeing multiple hallucinations in one day that lead to a string of finding out that possibly this place really exists. And so he is investigating what really is Sunderworld. Why is it this one season of a VHS tape that he found in his mother's stuff? Like, what is the connection to it? He lives in LA, so like, yeah. So that's kind of like the premise of the book, and yeah, I feel like that is that good? Is that like a good setup?
Yes.
So that's kind of like our brief description of like what this book is about. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a very much, you probably could gather from what B was saying, but very much like YA fantastical. I think it's more of like an urban fantasy book, which I don't read urban fantasy very often. So that was kind of interesting. It felt like very grounded and rooted in the real world. Like we were still just in LA, but like we had like magical components and things like that. It
you
felt
know what?
more akin.
Oh, can I say something real quick? It has something exactly to do with what you said.
What?
In the back of my book, there's an interview with Ransom Riggs, and there's like pictures and stuff to go along with it, which for anyone that's read Peculiar Children, pictures are a big part of it.
True.
So the interview question is, you've described Sunderworld as a portal fantasy. What is it about this type of storytelling that excites you? Ransom Riggs says, I love fantasy, but I especially love fantasy that feels accessible to our own world. Like, blah, blah, blah. Portal fantasies fill up the mundane world with potential. When I'm reading it, I like to get lost in the story and imagine I could be the one to step through the wardrobe into another world. Yeah, so
I love that.
Like that, I feel like that's exactly what you're saying. Like it feels very much like it's grounded in real life, you know?
Yeah, he's kind of like really, he loves to do that, because when you think about Peregrine's Home, like it's like that is literally what happens there. Like the kid gets trapped in a universe that's in the 1940s. And it's like just like our real world, real life events essentially that exists in a pristine state in the 1940s, but like he's just able to exist in that realm with them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I love the term portal fantasy. I don't know if he coined that or not, but I don't know either. But I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so like it felt like a very unique kind of vibe. like I don't know why I kept like thinking, I thought before going into this, I was like, this might be like, why was I thinking this? I was like, Stranger Things-esque.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but like knowing nothing. But then I actually got in there and I was like, oh my God, it's reminding me of like, well, at first I was like Percy Jackson-esque with like the seeing of like the things that aren't there, but like posed like kind of harm to him. And then when he got to like, with no spoilers, but we get to a point like maybe like the first 30-40% where there's a little bit of action, and I was like, this is so Spy Kids game over, like the third one.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just giving me those vibes. I don't know. But yeah, just like, I think it's like, I actually have a little bit more maybe to say about this specific point, but I think his intention, as maybe his intention is for like a lot of things that he's done, like I'm thinking also of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, but like it's supposed to be, I think, feeding off of a little bit of like nostalgia in a way of like something, like it's like you can tell he's very much like somebody who like probably grew up in the 90s, and like he wanted to kind of insert some of that juice into this, so that way do you have more information? Is
yes,
that
I'm like, let me read you more of this interview.
Okay. I want to know the answers.
So he said, let me find it. Okay. The interview question is like, Leopold and Emmett become so obsessed with Max's adventures in Sunderworld to such an extent they become filmmakers, extending blah blah blah. As a filmmaker yourself, how do you incorporate your love of cinema into this book? And he says,
as a filmmaker,
he says, I admit I did go to film school. Film is the reason I moved to LA in the first place, and I've loved movies almost as much as I've loved books. Growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, I watched a lot of TV. Old, bad, cheesy TV shows with commercials you couldn't skip, and they made a lasting impression on me. Blah, 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 blah. That's so awesome. He really, I mean, you are reading him. Like,
I'm glad.
Yeah,
oh my God, I'm glad.
I love this.
Well, like, what's also so interesting is, like, it's such a, like, sometimes I get really bummed out that I was, like, born in the 90s and not, like, I didn't get to live in the 90s
Literally.
or like, the 80s. Because, like, there's so much there that I'm, like, ooh, that was, like, just, like, such an experience. Like there's this phenomenon kind of, I think, that maybe, or theory that like people talk about, where it's like there was something about like engaging with media in the 80s, 90s, 70s that like was so good because you were bored, like you allowed yourself to be bored.
Yeah.
And it's less accessible now, I think, because we've got screens for everything. Like, I'm truly probably never bored because I'm constantly having something that I actually want within access. But like when you're younger, you're kind of just searching for things. So that meant like kind of like what he was talking about. When you're watching movies, it's like you have to sit through movies you don't want to watch because they're on the TV, or like you have to sit through the commercials. And that kind of leads to you discovering these little masterpieces, which are like what like Leopold and like Emmett find, which is like Sunderworld. And like maybe to everyone else, obviously it only got one season, so it probably wasn't a masterpiece to the world, but to them specifically, it's like that is such a lovely kind of like portal. But like something that's like only you could find in the 90s. It feels like only that could exist in the 90s because but what's great is like this doesn't take place in the 90s. This is obviously taking place past that, but Ransom Riggs, I think, is like he like what I love about this is it seems like he's honing in on something that's very niche and specific to the actual experience that you can't maybe write about, but like you can kind of insert into like in between the lines of things. And so it's like really he's taking this experience that he had in the 90s and inserting it into the modern day world. And like I think making that kind of like that bridge of connection there, where it's like that's how like the 90s still feel accessible to us, even if we could never grow up through the 90s. Like you can find the little like the actual kind of day in day out lifestyles that people had, if that made sense.
I think so.
I just think it's interesting.
I think that there was definitely, he had a very clear intention of how he wanted the show, like Max's Adventures in Sunderworld, to feel. Like, I feel like even though we didn't necessarily get tons of description about like the show itself, it's like even just by the title, I feel like the title Max's Adventures in Sunderworld, like that just sounds like it's from the 90s. Like it has that, I don't know, it just sounds like it in like
90s sheen.
And so it's like you can see how a kid would be like mesmerized by it, and then like the way that, because I feel like everybody has like a movie or a show that like is like bad, like the acting's bad, the writing's not great, but it's so dear to you. And so it's like, I feel like it's like, oh, I get it, like this show is just some random whatever, but to them it's part of their friendship lore,
Yeah.
So
you just said so much that I want to touch upon, I feel like. But like it is so true. It's like another thing I think is that's so like important to his whole journey is, well, first of all, yeah, he discovered Max's Adventures to Sunderworld when he was 12, and so it's like no media that I was obsessed with when I'm 12 holds up, I would say, to this day, because it's not like I was watching like Christopher Nolan movies or something. Like I was like watching like another Cinderella story starring Selena Gomez, which actually 5 stars.
That does hold up.
5 stars. but like on top of that, like Larry found this show when he was heavily processing the grief of losing his mom.
Yeah.
And so I think that obviously creates such a like larger tie to it, and I kind of loved exploring his relationship to Sunder and like this whole journey through just like that attachment that he has with his mom. And it's like he does these little things in his life where it's like, he's got the car that his mom had, and like he doesn't change the mileage like when, like, I guess between oil changes or something on it, because he's like, it's easier, or it feels better to track how many miles it's been since she died rather than thinking it's been 5 years or something. So it's like little things like that, and it's like you understand why this whole journey is so do or die from the very beginning for him, because it's like Sunder means so much to him, and so he has to feel the importance of it and like his importance inside of it so largely. I just feel like it's also like it's such an interesting discussion of grief, and like also like childhood grief, which is like less, I think, dissected in a lot of the things that I'm currently engaging with. So I thought that was really interesting, the way that was done.
Yeah. You were talking about things that this reminded you of, and one that I wrote down was the 12 Dancing Princesses, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Wait, okay,
because
I can't imagine why, but I love that.
Because he says something about like the first time he discovers this special place, and he's like, I don't want to leave, because what if it's not here when I come back? And I, like, the princesses, they like go down to their little dance pavilion or whatever, and they're like, if we leave, will it, is it gonna be here anymore? I don't know.
Wait, okay, like if you had to choose one piece of media from your childhood to like be able to go to, do you have in mind?
Oh, wow, that's a big question.
Thanks. It's just because I'm like, wait, let's still chat about us.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, of course there's like Atlantica from The Little Mermaid, if I could swim. But there was also this movie that actually I feel like would have similar vibe and aesthetics to like the Sunderworld show, called The Big Rock Candy Mountain, and the main little girl in it, her name is Lisa, and when I was little I used to call it the Lisa Show. Like I would be like, Mom, can I watch the Lisa Show? Because I don't know, I was just like 4, and but they go like, she goes down this like her slide in her backyard, and if she sings like the Big Rock Candy Mountain song, then she ends up in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. And it's like the actors are like these adult people that are like dressed up, like one's like a unicorn and one's like a lion or something. It's like so odd, but they're like where the land is, that's like you pull like the fruit off the tree and then it like reappears, like stuff like that. Like if I was a
awesome.
kid, if I was a kid choosing, I think that's what I would choose.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
It definitely was an interesting movie.
I've never heard of that before. I thought for some reason, I was like, oh, I thought you would choose. It's not really I mean, it kind of is a movie, but I was like, what would you want to be in Pixie Hollow?
Okay, I changed my answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so nice.
What about you?
Oh, that's a good question. It has to probably, like, I don't have a very like interesting answer. It probably has to be like a Disney movie or something. What are things that I liked when I was younger? It would actually, no, like the reason why I asked was because I was thinking about Barbie, and it would be Barbie. Like I would do something with a Barbie movie. Probably.
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah, you're gonna guess it.
You want to be in Barbie as Rapunzel and have her magic paintbrush.
That is exactly it. That is exactly it. Which is great. Like I want her little fun like dragon BFF. I want that paintbrush. I want her long hair.
Yeah.
Like I think I just would want to be Barbie Rapunzel without being trapped in the tower.
Yeah. Well, right.
Right. But that would be my dream.
Yeah. I love that.
There's probably a better answer, but that's the first one that came to mind.
But you're so right, because like Pixie Hollow, like the website, if I could live there,
you would.
That's my dream. That's my dream.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just a quick tangent.
Okay. So, overall thoughts like on the book before we just like talk spoilers on the whole thing.
Sure. Okay. So I feel like I say this almost every month now, just because I feel like we've picked some interesting books, which that's not saying good or bad.
Okay.
It's just they're just different. But I feel like this is one of these books that, like, again, I don't think I would have picked up if it wasn't for the club.
Right.
So it's like it's very, I don't even know how to explain this because without it sounding bad. It's just very much like a book that I'm like, ooh, if I could find a 14-year-old boy, yeah. You know what like and give this to him.
Yeah.
Like this is so his cup of tea. And it's not that it's not my cup of tea. It's just I read it and I liked it, but I was like, yeah. Like like I feel like it's kind of one of those books where it's like it didn't like hit on any specific emotions for me. Kind of just felt like I was like reading just like a fun kind of story. Like I was just like getting like in a book that wasn't, it was well paced. It was really, I liked the characters. I thought the premise was cool, but it's like nothing really like tugged on my heartstrings too much. Nothing made like no characters made me feel like incredibly like attached or like I related to them a lot. It just felt like I was like reading the book and like enjoying the story, but nothing was, I don't think it's gonna stick. So like it's an interesting book to me because it's also like, since it's the first one, it's like the story's unfinished,
right?
And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna read it, so it kind of feels interesting, like the second one, so it feels interesting to kind of like leave this world off where we left it. But that's all to say, like I think it's a really, like we were talking about, it's a fresh premise. I think it's like when I was a child and thinking about the type of like fast-paced, exciting books that I would want to read, this is probably like down to the mark, like the like down to like my own like writing out plots that I would like to see. Like this would probably be beat for beat what I would want. Because it's just so exciting. Like I love anything that has to do with like excitement and attachment to media, because I get very attached to and excited about media, and so it's like it felt very much like that. But I will say it's just like it's a story about a 17-year-old boy, and I just like,
I think it's more like action adventure than character. So like for you, I can see that's like not it's not as like as much as something you're gonna attach to.
And it's like, and unfortunately it is like, I think I'm aging out of my prime love of like YA.
Yeah.
And which is unfortunate. I still can like read YA and like YA.
Yeah.
But it's like I find myself less relating to characters now and more just being interested in like growth and like things that I can like see my younger self in. And so it's like, which this feels very like exclusionary on my part, but like because it's about like a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And like there wasn't any like women to like into like much later in the book than I wanted.
Right.
I was just like, where's my window? Where's my in?
Right.
I didn't have much of an in there. So it's like I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the characters, but like there was nothing that was like attaching me to the material. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my overall thoughts.
Yeah.
But like I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Well,
about it.
I really enjoyed it. My biggest like, I don't know what the right word is, not issue, but my biggest, I guess, letdown was that there's a sequel. So, like,
I know.
I was like wanting a full wrap up in this book, and then as I was getting closer to the end, I was like, there has to be another book. Like, there's no way they're finishing this in 40 pages. Like,
no. You texted me, and you're like, so I think there's a sequel.
That's just like on me for like not knowing.
I'm surprised we didn't know because I'm looking at the inside of my book and it says in the corner here Sunderworld Volume 1.
Yeah, like there's a big V01 on my cover.
I fear that's actually on us.
I think like I saw that and I just thought it was just like part of the aesthetic of like the VHS. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I will be honest, it is quite silly that like the whole point of his love for this is that he's like only found one volume of this show, like this one season, and we're like, Sunderworld Volume 1, right? Is it? So I mean, maybe it's like part of that is just like, obviously the continuation of it, but
I just feel like, I guess I just feel like unresolved because the way it ends, it's like it's definitely set up for the sequel. There wasn't really I feel like there really wasn't resolve at the end of this book.
I think there was one string that felt tied. Well, there was one string that felt tied, I think, but
yeah. So that's like, but that's like, it's not, I feel like that's not really like a good critique because it's like, okay, well, there's another book, so that settles that.
Sure.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This book is actually probably the most like well paced read that I've done, in the sense of like not reading all like the week before or 2 days before.
Good for you.
I started this one, I think, the day after we did our last recording. So I've been reading it very consistently. So that's like, I'm proud of myself for that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we were 15 minutes late starting this episode because I was finishing the book.
Yeah. So but I found myself wanting to pick this up. Like, I sometimes struggle to read on the subway because it's just like more convenient to like play phone games. And but it's like I like wanted to crack open this book on the subway, and I was even reading it like just at home, which I know sounds silly, like, well, where else do you read? But I actually read a lot while I nanny. So that's where I do a lot of my reading. But then like I would get home and like want to read more. So that that's saying something, that like I wasn't feeling any sort of chore by reading this. Whereas our last book was kind of a chore to get through for me. So yeah, I think I really enjoyed the adventure aspect of it, because that's like something that I like. That's like definitely when I was elementary school, middle school, like that was like adventure was like my genre.
39 Clues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I miss it every day. Yeah. Right now I just like I got teary-eyed.
Like literally. Oh man. So, but yeah, I think I felt some similar things to you of like, I could relate to Larry in some ways, but in general, the characters, I'm like, okay, like these are all, I feel like sort of pawns that I'm watching move around, but not like, I don't feel super invested in anyone. except for maybe Larry, just because he was our main character. But yeah, maybe like in the next one there'll be more like rounded out development.
Yes, which I want to get to. I have something to say about this, so remind me in the spoiler section.
But yeah, like I just feel like it was interesting, it was different, but very accessible, like very readable. And I think that I appreciate the author's ability to have a lot going on and a lot of movement happening without too much like, well, and then that happened because it happened, and then that happened because it happened, and now we're in this situation. As you know, I read a lot of younger grade books, and sometimes like my biggest issue with them is that things just happen because they happen. Like when you read an adventure book, I just like don't like when it's like, and now we're in this dire situation, and now we found the way to get out of it, and now we're moving on, and now we're in this new dire situation. And it just feels like very random, like you're just getting thrown into like life or death, and then you're just out of it, and then thrown in and out of it. I feel like there was a lot of life and death in this, but it felt more connected, or more like it would connect back to something we did earlier, or it was related to something that he remembered in the TV show. Like there was just more reason. There was reason for why things were happening, not just like things were happening because it's a police chase and things are happening, you know? Like
like a good progression from
so I appreciated that, because I think sometimes adventure type of books, it's like we're just writing scenario for the sake of scenario without like an overarching reason. And I think for the most part there was usually like a good reason. So yeah.
Interesting. Can I give you a book recommendation?
Okay.
Sorry, I know this has nothing to do with anything. But like when I was reading this, I kept thinking that this book reminded me a lot of a series called Legendborn, which you have definitely been around me while I was reading that before.
I've heard of this.
Yes, it's basically based off of like the legend of King Arthur. And so it's lots of magic in the real world. It takes place on a college campus, but they're all like high school students who got accepted into like this cool program on a college campus. And so it's like it's very much, and it deals a lot with like grief of a mother, stuff like that. It reminded me so much of this book, but like I really love Legendborn because I felt very connected to it and its characters, and I think it's so well paced. The magic is so interesting. I just feel like you would really like vibe with it.
That sounds really good. And I'm having a feeling that someone else, maybe Heidi, has recommended it to me as well.
Yeah.
It's so like let me write this down.
It's a really fun like adventure fantasy with like actual like a lot of grit to it. Yeah.
Basically like anything that would be similar to Six of Crows. Like,
ooh, wait, actually, yeah, maybe that you'd really vibe with that.
Yeah.
Remember when we read Six of Crows for the podcast?
What a good start.
I almost just said we should read that for the podcast. And I was like, oh, we started that by the way with the Six of Crows and Crooked
because it's just that good.
It was just that good.
Okay, your point that you wanted to say, does it need to be in the spoiler section?
I would probably put it in the spoilers because it's a bit about Larry's character development.
Okay. So do you have any other like last thoughts?
I wanted to second everything that you said. I totally agree, especially with you saying it's a very accessible, fun action adventure read. Like I do think it's like very well paced to the point where it felt like I kept thinking, because I was trying to figure out why I wasn't connecting to so much of it, and I was like, maybe I'm bored. And I was like, no, actually, I don't think there's a single point in this book that felt boring.
Right.
Even the parts where it's like maybe Larry's on his own for a bit, there's less characters, less kind of like movement. It still felt like exciting because like stuff was still happening, puzzle pieces were being put together, or like maybe like Larry's like emotional arc was happening, like something was going on. And so like I think if you're somebody who's like because we obviously had read a book last month that was a little bit slower, a lot a bit slower, and kind of like dense. This was a very nice. Yeah. It felt like almost like a cup of espresso to like maybe a cup of tea that we were reading last month.
Wait, that's so true.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So I would for sure recommend to people. Like I think it's a good read.
Definitely like for me, definitely if you like YA, like if you like sort of a fun story.
Yeah.
And a little bit of quirk or a little bit of nostalgia, like
I think it's a really good recommendation for people who maybe like really like Percy Jackson, actually, like less so like whatever. Percy Jackson has something. It's the Greek mythology. It's like Percy Jackson has something that's just different and fun about it. I can't put my finger on. It's the Greek mythology,
right?
But if you're somebody who you're just looking for like a nostalgia piece, if you're looking for like like a kind of quirky, funny, fast-paced kind of thing. If you like the Heroes of Olympus, you'd probably like this. But it's like in a different subsection. They're like cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not twins. They're cousins.
I love that.
Thanks. Okay. Yeah, but that's all I have to say.
Okay. So, anyways, if this sounds like you want to read it, we're gonna go into spoilers now. So if you want to pause, this would be the point to do so.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Can we start with your point, or?
Sure. So you were saying in your description of it all, you were like, I like the characters, but maybe didn't like feel super connected to any of them. But I think maybe in the next one, it would be like more. We'll get more, and I thought that was true. But also because there's a lot in here that I was like, I want more. What's his name? Oh my god, I can't remember all of a sudden. Norm is who I'm thinking. I want more Norm, and I want more Isabel, because I thought what was so kind of annoying was that Larry, who I like, feels a little bit kind of like chosen one-y, plain Janey in a way. Like he never felt like, I was just like, oh wow, everyone kind of got the fun characteristics around him, but like I don't think he had a lot of very fun quirks. But like Emmett was very quirky, and Norm was very quirky, and then Isabel also. I was like, Isabel has some quirks, but like I don't think she's fleshed out enough in the way that I wanted her to be.
Yeah,
I want more of that in the sequel, which is like the only reason why I think I would read the sequel. But also I was like, what's so interesting about Larry is he starts getting quite badass toward like the end of the book, like especially when he's talking to Norm and Isabel for the first time. He's like, he's yelling at them. He steals his car back. He's like in a fight with his dad. And then he has this whole thing at the end where he's like, it's like he comes to this conclusion with his character, which is true. But he's like, I feel like my whole entire life I've been waiting for somebody to tell me that I was someone, but I was never putting that faith in myself. And I was like, oh, exactly. But I was like, but that's the character arc. And so I'm like, I wonder what the second book we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a great character arc, and I'm like, that is the whole point of the book. And I think if this was just a book, that would be a great full circle,
right?
Like start and close. But now I'm like, the fact that like I know that we're there, like the story's not over. Now I'm like very kind of like, but where else could we go? So with
where
his
is
arc?
He going? Yeah.
It just kind of intrigues me. I think it's like, I think he gets, like I said, just a lot more interesting as the story goes. But I'm still kind of bummed that, like, I wanted him with more quirks. Like, I wanted him with a little bit more of, like, Emmett's quirks.
So, can I read you another part of this interview?
Oh, my gosh.
It's so relevant.
Am I literally reading this man? Okay.
So, it says, blah, 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 blah. How did you play with the quote chosen one trope in this book? And he says in Miss Peregrine, Jacob was a chosen one. He grew up believing he was nobody special, destined for nothing. Then he came to discover like he was gifted, peculiar, and he had a power, you know. But he says in Sunderworld, I wanted to turn the chosen one narrative on its head. As a kid, Leopold became obsessed with Sunderworld, clung to it, losing himself in it. He came to believe that, like a character from the show, he was a channeler. He was chosen and he was going to save the world. So when years later he learns that that Sunder is real, he naturally assumes he's the channeler, but he's disappointed after a series of humiliating failures to find out he's not. He isn't special, he isn't powerful, he isn't chosen, he's just a somewhat below average kid. No one's coming to hand him a crown and tell him he's king of the world. He has to be crushed to completely let go of this fantasy that he'd been quietly hanging on to in order to move through his unprocessed grief, to face his father he'd been so afraid of for years, and to grow up. Only then can he become the Leopold he was meant to be. Only then, when he's dispensed with fantasy, he can begin to live. And that's just when the world of Sunder drags him back in.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have such a gripe with the chosen one trope because, like, obviously when you're a kid, everything is all chosen one-y, like Harry Potter.
Right.
Even like Percy Jackson you can make an argument for, but like even kind of Percy Jackson, things like that.
Yeah.
But like for sure Harry Potter, and it's like
Divergent.
Oh my god, Divergent. Ugh, we have to talk about that later because there's a new book coming, guys. I don't even know. Anyway, but like things like that, it's like it can get a little draining to consistently read books about being chosen, and then because it's like that's why we had all those memes, and I hate to keep bringing it up because we don't stan, but like everyone being like, when's my Hogwarts letter gonna come?
Yeah,
like,
but that's what he's waiting for, is his Sunderworld coin or key or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's like it's so much more interesting to me when people try to like go against that than when they try to play into it, because it is just like, okay, what more is there to say about just magically being chosen? What arc is there to tell? Whereas like there's so much more meat on the bone when you're not actually the chosen one. You have to give up your fantasy of wanting to be so included or wanting to be the special person who just can like who has the power, who has the whatever.
So I think in that interview, like, he explains it really well, but I can agree with you that like in the book it's maybe like the arc happened, but it maybe could have, I guess, maybe taken longer or been more deeply I was gonna say dove into. It could have. We could have more deeply dived into. Like the arc to like, I guess maybe feel it and experience it a little bit longer or more so with Larry, because it definitely does happen, but it's like, okay, I feel like from point A to point B, or it's more like from point A to point C, point B happened really quick, of like of him being like,
of him coming to that,
okay,
like,
I'm mad at everything and like forget my dad and blah blah blah, you know.
So it's like when I like say like this point, it's not even like a pro or a con of anything, because I don't know the answer because the second book hasn't come out. But since the second book hasn't come out, we're in the special position where it's like we can't theorize. But it just intrigues me. It feels like, because when I read that, I was like, oh, that's such a good character arc. But I was like, but that feels very much like the closing arc. So I'm just curious to see where else this could go. Like maybe it's just him building upon this now that he has that foundation set. But like, I'm happy I got to read it, because I mean, if he had this in book 2, I wouldn't have gotten that, and his character would have felt kind of unfinished.
I feel like I'll probably read the second one.
If you do, like, give me a heads up about like what's going down.
I will.
But like, kind of like how you were saying earlier, how you were like, it just felt like there was like so, like, we joked about how not any strings were tied, and I was like, well, one string was tied. This was my one string. I was like, okay, I understand Larry's purpose in this. But I will say what's interesting is like it's very much like anti-chosen one, but what's so fascinating is the fact that like Emmett, kind of, we get a little bit of like something sprinkled on Emmett's character where it's like he can read whatever, I can't remember what it's called, like, but, like the hieroglyphs
or something.
The hieroglyphs in like Sunder's like language, which is like just like, and not even Isabel could read that.
And the monster, like when he was fighting the monster was like really eyes locked on Emmett,
which I would love if Emmett turned out to be the chosen one. Because like how interesting would it be that we were following the best friend of the character of the
Yeah.
chosen one. That never happens.
Right.
That's like if we followed Ron Weasley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm done talking about
It's fine. It's fine. It's so colloquial. Like everyone's gonna
It's so
understand,
colloquial.
you know. So
It's
okay.
true. It's true.
But yeah, no, I definitely like would love some more juice in Emmett's story in the second one.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed because we got like what was so interesting about this book is like Act 1 is very much a co-story between Emmett and Larry. Middle section, I would say, very much solo adventures of Larry, and like end bit is like Larry meeting Norm and then Isabel.
Right.
And like I was kind of bummed that we left Emmett for a while because he was very much the comic relief of a lot of it, and like also like Leopold's like #1 champion. I thought it was really great how they were both kind of like get behind me, but for each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just want more Emmett, I think. I thought the way his story ended was both, like, really interesting, and also I was like, kind of upset.
Yeah, like, I really want more of him and to see what is happening with him. Yeah. Also, speaking of Emmett, I thought that Ransom Riggs did a very good job of his texts. Like, there's two that I want to read. These are from Emmett as in his like 14-year-old brain self.
Yeah.
He says, "Where are you at? Pretty chill here, just dead people around, haha." And then like a little grave emoji and like the little emoji. And then there was another one, 305. He says, "Stupid machine broke. Are you okay?" That's Leopold. And then Emmett says like this place is like a Walmart for caskets. Haha, what? Like I don't know. Like I just feel like I'm just like so impressed. Funny. I feel like reading texts in books can sometimes feel so cringe or so like, oh, this is like a grown person typing what they think. Like high schoolers would say. But I thought that he did a really good job of Larry's texts like seem like just a normal 17-year-old kid, like, you know, just kind of normal. But then like the 14-year-old like Emmett texts, they have like, I was thinking like I've seen screenshots of like our texts when we were like young high schoolers, and it's like so like just so just like the random quirks of how we texted. I feel like Ransom Riggs did a good job of giving Emmett a little bit of quirk of how a 14-year-old would text without being too cheesy or too on the nose. Like just that's so haha, what? Like
that is so true.
I just loved it.
I thought the humor in this book was really interesting because some of the times it like worked and the other times I was like, what? Like I was like, oh, I forgot this is a boy book. But like what's actually funny is like there was like, I think when he's 14, like there's like little things where like when he goes through the portal by himself, like and like it immediately breaks so they can't follow him. Like Leopold says something like, "I swear I can hear a wee" as he's going down the portal. Like, there's something about that I'm like, that's just so stupid. I love it. Yeah. So, you know, I liked it. It was fun and different. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I don't have any like most of my notes are sort of just like comments, like commentary. Sure. I feel like I don't have like a lot of like deep thoughts on like characters, you know.
When you were coming on this, I told Laura, I was like, because I'm in the throes of finals, so I haven't been like very on top of my note-taking game, and so I told her, I was like, I have like no notes for this, and you were like, it's not really like a note-taking book, I guess.
Yeah, like it was meant to be read, not like analyzed,
you know. I mean, unless if you want to ponder, feel free, right? But, like, yeah, well, okay, I will say like there were some things that I was like, sure, like I'm trying to think like one thing I really liked was I loved meeting Norm
Yeah.
He was so fun for me. I don't know why. Something about him being like just like a stoner uncle
Uncle,
figure.
yeah.
I was like, and like when he puts on his like his clothes, like when Leopold puts on Norm's clothes, and he's like, I'm only wearing my own clothes, like I'm not wearing weed scented clothes.
Yeah.
But he wants to, because he hasn't taken a shower in a few days, and so his hair's looking disgusting, and he's like, I have to have a hat, and so he like has to put on this like pink beanie with with a cat that's flipping someone off.
Right.
And I'm like, I love the idea of like he's like marching into battle almost to go find Emmett, and he's like in this like video game-esque type like final boy outfit, and it just has to be like basically like a white undershirt, jeans, and like this like pink beanie.
Right.
Like I just loved that. I thought like just like the characterization, like that's why I'm like all the fun people around Leopold I felt like got the fun characterization, whereas like I wanted more from Leopold, but also it's like then Isabel also kind of gave me like meh vibes too.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted more from Isabel.
Yeah.
I think she's really gonna shine in the sequel.
Yeah.
Larry, obviously, I keep switching between what I call him, but whatever.
It's fine.
He obviously holds her to such high regards, like especially the fact that she went back to get Emmett after everything went down. Like he was very
he's got a little
appreciative.
crush.
Yeah, I know. And here's what I want to say. I wanted Emmett and Leopold together more.
Oh my gosh.
And I think maybe
they're so bestie, like they really are.
They were like do or die. I think there's something about the fact that Larry had no one in his life after his mom died who he like cared for and felt safe around. Like he had a very like toxic relationship with his father, and like didn't have any other friends outside of Emmett. And Emmett was like the only person from the very time they met who like immediately accepted him and for who he was. Yeah. And like there's just something about them going to Sunder for the first time together, and like Larry's fighting like the Noxim for the first time, and like they are both so equally on each other's team. Yeah. Like Emmett is like every time Larry falters, Emmett's like, get yourself together, you got it. And then like every time the Noxim looks at Emmett, Larry's like, I'm gonna kill this because he's gonna try to kill Emmett. And I was like, when I was reading that, I was like, okay, it would never happen obviously, but I'm like, I see it. And then the second Isabel was introduced, I was like, they're gonna drop my Emmett love story that was building the bricks for in my head. My
beef or whatever would just be like
let boys be friends.
Well, no, not with your take. No.
Oh, okay. My take's perfect.
with the book, like the book itself is like if Larry, you know, if this develops into a crush and like a, you know, he wants to date her or whatever, if like that's what happens, it's like, well, this is really like the first girl that he's really talked to, so it's like, okay, so you just like the girl because she's a girl and she's there, you know. So true. Like that why do you actually like her? And also at the beginning, on page 38, I wrote, oh no, thinking Bestie's girlfriend is attractive, ... Like he makes some comment about Emmett's girlfriend, like, you know, I've always thought she was so beautiful, but la 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 la. And I didn't know if it was just supposed to be him like hyping up his best friend's girlfriend, or if it was like, you know, like Jesse's girl, which said Jesse's like that type of thing. I was like, I'm like, so are you just attracted to any girl that you interact with? Like,
you hit the nail on the head, girl. Yeah, that's my exact problem. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, because like there's something about it where it's like it didn't feel insta-lovey to me in necessarily, but it felt like immediate. Like, it felt like the second they were on page together, I was like, I know where this is going. Right. You know what I mean? And like, I kind of get a little annoyed when, like, there is only one girl in the story. Because I'm like, I fear your only purpose is to be, like, the really
love
cool
interest.
Love interest. Yeah. And it's like, I do think we have some like we've got a lot of interesting things that like make Isabel. Like I think like her disorder that she has where she can't use magic, that is really interesting and like causes like a lot of like she's got her own separate arc from Larry that she's going through, which is good. But you're so right, it is like the second like we're really like alone with her. And he mentions how much like he's like, she is very pretty, but like I don't know, I just don't trust her. And I'm like, why are we thinking she's attractive right now? I was like, oh right, he's a 17-year-old boy. Yeah. So that is like true. But you're so right. Like when you're like 17 and you're finding every girl attractive, it's like there's nothing there for me to grasp onto. Right. It's like it feels a lot like throwing things to the wall to see what sticks. Right. But like make it girls, and it's like I don't like that.
Yeah. Right. It makes me think. This conversation makes me think of. I'm going to throw it back. I'm going to throw it back to our old book club when we read Water for Elephants. Which like I so despised. But like the whole main romance, it's like I just did not care because I'm like I did not understand why the man and woman, I don't even remember their names, they were like so in love. Why? Just because they were a man and a woman in an alone space. Like that felt like the only reason.
So right.
Like there was nothing there except for just, oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was okay.
More annoying because it was like that was solely a love story, so we had to root for them in order to get through the story. But like, this is kind of like a third or a second storyline that's going on if it actually happens. But that's so true. But maybe there will be. I'm hopeful if you read the next book that there would be more development there to make it more. But I just had to air out my thoughts on Emmett because I feel like I have to let that go. Now it's like,
well, but you're right. Like that Larry, like one of the reasons that he feels a lot of admiration for Isabel is when she so quickly cares about Emmett because Larry cares about Emmett, you know? So it's like
I'm not crazy. And it's like I wasn't yearning for it, but I was like, that should happen. Yeah. Like it felt like I was like, there's a lot of built-in trust there. I could see the very stable relationship in the future of their lives if they felt like it.
But don't you think that if someone wrote a book about us when we were age 14 to 17, they would come to the same conclusion?
Yes, but like what's crazy too, Laura, is like that would have been our dream. We would have been like, we want everyone to be obsessed with us, like as we are with each other. Right. so like we would be welcoming that.
Right. But I just always walk the fine line of like, but can't people just be besties that are just so intense besties? You know?
I agree. But also the thing is, whenever that happens, because I'm like, I just think it's like a lot more common for women to feel like that about their other friends. Yeah. But like it's less intense, I think, for boys. Yeah. And not that I'm saying, I do think there is like, we do need platonic friendships more so in media. It shouldn't always jump to romance. So I'm not saying that like every time boys are very deeply invested in each other, it should be romance. I'm fine with there being platonic readings, but I'm just saying the gate is it's cracked open. So I'm sorry for sliding through.
I'm just playing devil's advocate with you.
Nothing that I don't always do.
I like to make you like make Squirm. You. Yeah, I was trying to think of the word like.
I know. Well, the worst thing, I don't want people to like. My biggest fear all the time, because I am a romance lover. I never want people to think I'm only viewing things through the lens of romance. So I'm like, wait, guys, but I have reasons. Yeah. Let me show you my scary board back here. Yeah.
And I think that's so interesting though, because I feel like I'm not as often reading things through the lens of romance. So I'm just like, okay, I guess this is happening. You know,
just one thing I appreciate is just like an intense feeling, like an intense love, whether that be like romantic or platonic. Like there's a lot of platonic things, like friendships, that I like deeply love. Like I'm looking at Sunrise on the Reaping right now. My favorite thing about that book was like Haymitch and Maisie and their like sibling-esque relationship. So it's like things like that. Like I'm not looking for romance per se, but I am looking for the love of it all. Yeah. But romance is the easiest way to find that, because again, I want it deep. Like I want intensity.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. And that's the thing is, I mean, it's like, again, we're talking about like little high schoolers, and we're only like one part volume 1 into at least 2, if not more, and it's like, but I'm like not feeling anything strong between Larry and Isabel. It's just like they're just there, you know.
Yeah, they're for sure just there. Like, I would appreciate their story more so if I knew that there was no romance in the future, but that's fine. That's also I think how I felt with Miss Peregrine's. Like, I remember, like, what was it, Emma and like
and Jacob.
Nice. I forgot that was his name.
I only know that because I just read it in the interview. I would not have been able to pull that out of thin air.
I really liked Emma as a character,
and
I really liked Jacob as a character, but like them together, I was like kind of like white bread. Like it didn't give me any like real strong emotions. Like, I was like, sure, whatever you guys want to do, just do. But like, I'm like, I'm just here. So like, I don't know. I think what's nice about him is that like I like that it seems like he's opening a door for a romantic side plot if people are interested in that. But like, I don't think that's ever going to be like
the main
something he puts so much stock in.
Right.
So that's fine. I'd rather have the character arcs, but like, I don't know.
I want to re-recommend a book to you.
Okay. Yes.
You're gonna be
re-recommend.
You're gonna you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I've heard this so many times.
What is it?
The 10,000 Doors of January is very. Well, I'm thinking it feels portal fantasy to me, and I feel like the romance there's deep yearning.
Yeah, which I love.
So I think you will really like it.
It's okay. Laura's literally given this book to me prior to New York. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And it's been chilling on my shelf. Yeah. So,
which I get it. You have lots of books to read, but
I want to read that one so badly though, because like I really like that author's work, and I feel like that would be a really fun book to read.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my summer list and I'll get around to it. Don't worry. But yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I love that's a portal fantasy. Now I'm gonna be looking for portal fantasies
like
everywhere.
That word, that term. Now I'm like, I feel like I have the right word for things that I like. And I feel like I like portal science fiction.
Ooh, like, do you have examples?
Well, I'm thinking like what's that one called? Shoot the Moon. Okay. I guess portal might not be the right word, but I'm using the word portal in this sense to mean like how we were saying, like grounded in real life, but then there's just like, no, you know what? The word portal does work for Shoot the Moon. Okay. You know, and like that's like my like favorite, you know, I always talk about.
Yes.
And in a sense, I feel like this could also be applied to like my other favorite science fiction book, which is called
Real.
What is that book called? I've talked about it multiple times on the podcast. Star Splitter.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that term makes sense for both of those books. So I'm like, I feel like this is the term I've been looking for like what.
That's so interesting.
What a lot of times what I like, you know.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've never now I'm thinking, I'm like, can we apply portal to other genres?
Yeah.
And have it still work? I don't know. I don't think there's any such thing as like a portal romance.
Right.
I can find it.
Because I feel like the portal itself lends itself to either fantasy or science fiction.
Yeah. Entering like a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else that you want to add about our experience reading this book? I'm trying to think.
No, I feel like this is kind of to the point, you know. It's just like it's a story, you know. Like the only thing is,
it's so like Harry Styles, that interview where he's like, it's like a movie, and everyone's like, why would you say that? But no, I get it.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's a story, you guys.
The thing is that I feel like I'm curious if Ransom Riggs wrote this with the intention of it being easily seen as something that could be turned into a movie. Considering he said he has a film degree, and they made a movie of Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children, which I never watched, but
I watched, but I didn't like very much. What's his name? Who did it? Tim Burton.
Yeah, I heard that it wasn't. I really loved the books, and then like maybe from you and like my sisters that saw it were like, oh, like it was good, but nah. Yeah. So but anyways, just because he's had like a movie of his books before, I feel like I could see sometimes while I was reading it, because I read part of that interview before I finished the whole book. So I was like aware that he has like a film degree. So I was like, I'm curious like if things are being written in a way that could be put onto film. And I feel like they were, which isn't good or bad. It's just like a curious thing to me of like, was it written with intention to be able to be picked up by somebody who wants to make a movie?
That's such an interesting idea. I feel like if you have a film degree, so John Green talks about this a lot, but he's always like, you have to write books with the intention of them being books, like, because there's so often where people get really upset about adaptations not being exactly to the book, and John Green's very much an advocate for like, you have to change the script from being the book, because books don't adapt 100% to movies. So if you're writing a book with the intention to be a movie, you're kind of making a less good book, right? Because it's not a movie, it's a book. But when he said that, I was like, it would be very hard for me, I think, because I used to take a lot of film courses, right? It would probably be easier for me now, but like I used to think very heavily in film, and so it's like it would be difficult, I think, for me at one point to have been just writing this without the visual of the cinematicness of all of that. And so it's like, I wonder if he would ever direct it. I don't know how much experience he actually has under his belt outside of his degree, but like I think that would be so interesting. Yeah, because I feel like, especially with the context of it being based on like a TV series, like I just feel like it would make it would make so much sense as being a visual media, there's something too that probably can be said for like the actual like clarity he has in his like aesthetics / vision, because you think about Miss Peregrine's Home and it's like you're reading that book and all of those like photos of these children are in the book, and it's very much like black and white photos, like kind of freaky looking, so much like it's putting you in the time of the 1940 when the book takes place. And like even just looking at this, I'm like, the cover being a VHS tape is like so like he clearly knows what branding and what like aesthetic and image he wants to promote with this. So it just feels like I'm sure he's got a very clear concept for like if this were to be made into an adaptation, what that would look like.
Yeah, like here's a picture he put in that is captioned "A Portal in Los Angeles," and it's like a parking meter, and then like the Thomas Guide, and like Clifton's, where they like, where they like caught the place on fire or whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, it's like these are based on very real things, and there's like a real and Angel's Flight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to see if he has like a journal or scrapbook or something that like he made for this. Like I just want to see kind of pieces of things outside of those images that maybe he also grabbed from around like LA or wherever he lives. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it said he's lived in LA for like 2 decades, so.
Well, his wife is also a very famous author. She wrote the Shatter Me series.
Oh, I don't think I know that.
It's a dystopian YA series. It was like really like it was like kind of, I think, equivalent. It was like, okay, so it wasn't as huge as Hunger Games Divergent era, but like I think it was like the subsection underneath it. So it's like it wasn't the book, like the popular book, but like if you were a reader, you were probably reading the Shatter Me series.
If you're like in those. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm like, to me, I'm like, they're such a power couple. So I was like, oh my god, they're both like writing YA like hits.
Imagine like working on a book with your husband or wife, like you put your little calm music on or whatever, like your vibe is. You're like on opposite ends of the couch, or like your computers are set up across the room from each other.
Like my dream
life.
As you're describing, like that would be the only life I would want. Like I can visualize myself being perfectly content doing. And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, this is a side note. Do you think his real name is Ransom Riggs?
I don't think so.
Insane name.
I feel like that has to be well, I can't think of the word is
a pseudonym.
No, that's not. Yeah,
like a fake name.
Pseudonym is definitely the actual term I was thinking of, but like that's the word I should have been thinking of. I don't know what word I was thinking of. Like
alias,
nomiker. What?
What? Oh, not. Yeah, wait. That I think that is a word, but I just don't.
What
use
is that word? I'm gonna look up what that means.
Okay.
What is that? It's something like that. I might not have said it right.
I think you're right.
Oh, a moniker.
A moniker.
Oh, it just means a name.
Oh, so it doesn't even have to be like fake or anything.
Yeah,
it's just names.
The definition just is a name. Okay.
Straight to the point. That's so real.
Okay.
The other day, someone asked me what they call an eggplant in England, and I think I said a courgette, which it's not. It's a courgette. And so, like, I'm like, after that, but I said it to a group of like 20 people, like really, really confidently, and everyone believed me. So, like, I felt like that was the vibe that we just had.
Yeah. Okay, Merriam-Webster says it could be name or nickname. So, like,
okay, so you're right.
It says Hoosier is a common moniker for a resident of Indiana. Like something like that.
Okay, so like, yeah, so like maybe
I wasn't
like
his totally off. I mean, I didn't say the word right, so that's embarrassing.
Nomiker. Well, I agreed with you. I followed you blindly.
But like nom, it makes more sense for a name. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Heck yeah. Well, I just think it's so interesting if you named your kid Ransom. But when I think about it, have you seen Knives Out?
No.
Oh, well, really good dude love, but like it's like the Chris Evans character in that book, his name is Ransom, and I'm always like,
oh, so maybe it is.
But yeah, but both of those, like, that's a character, so who's to say?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway,
okay,
like
well,
Lemony
Snicket.
Conversation.
Oh my gosh, yes. More people need to do what Lemony Snicket does, where like you insert yourself as your fake author name.
It's so good.
Persona inside the actual book. That's awesome.
It's the way that I was writing letters to Lemony Snicket, like, why didn't you answer the questions that I have in your books? Like, you need to write another one.
The entitlement is fantastic. We should give kids the authority to read like letters to or write letters to famous people more often.
Yeah, I think they should do it like in English class or like whatever you call it when you're in elementary school.
That's so true.
Yeah.
The only time I had the courage to write a letter was I tried to write a letter to Obama one time to ask him to stop puppy mills. And I never sent it.
Wow.
But I was like, wait, advocate.
She was
stand by that.
Boots on the ground, like
like I'll do it. By the way, he had a lot of stuff going on. This was like literally 2009. I'm sorry. We were like collapsing as a country.
But like the puppies were important to you.
Puppies. I was like, I'm sick and tired of these pet lands popping up in every mall.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. I only remember my email to
oh my god, our boy.
Yeah, Jared Reck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I sadly think I deleted.
Yeah.
Cuz Google's always telling me I'm out of storage. So.
I know, in Google.
Yeah.
Once you reach that threshold in Google where they're like you're low on storage, it's like you're never getting it back.
Yeah.
Like you have to accept your fate of constantly being told that you're low on storage no matter how much you delete.
Yep. I actually just made a new Gmail account because I needed to send an email to one of the priests at one of the churches that I might get married at, and I was like, you know what, I need to have a separate email for all this wedding stuff, because like I was like, if this is coming into my regular inbox, like
it's lost.
So I have a new Gmail.
Huge.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's exciting. I actually should check it and see if he responded, because
yeah.
I forgot. I don't think I like have it on my phone yet. So
you're like, it's my new email. I'm sorry.
So yeah. But anyways, that's what's up with me.
If you tying it back to the book.
It's like past 10 o'clock here.
I know. I can tell you're really tired, so I'm trying to wrap it up. But if you read the sequel, you have to keep us updated.
Yes,
I don't think I will, but like I am intrigued enough to want to know what goes on.
Yeah.
So just keep me in the nose.
I think I will, because honestly, since I own this book, I would kind of love to own the second one.
Yeah.
It would look so
they're
good.
gonna look fantastic. Yeah, they're gonna look really good together.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. And I feel like since I got this one for $1, if the new one's like $25 or whatever, it's like, okay, well, if you divide it by 2, it's like $13 a book, you know, average.
That's great.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's book math.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say, or should we wrap this one up?
No, I think I'm ready to go. I think that was a fun discussion. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was chill. Like it was like from last month when we were like, this was nice because we were like, okay.
Yeah. Like we're giggling and laughing, so that's how you know we had a good time.
It's true.
So, thank you everyone for listening to Read the Last Page. Our music and illustrations were created by the talented Sage Timothy.
If you don't know our schedule yet, we host our book club episodes on the first Friday of each month. So for next month, we will be reading Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, which a movie, if you see on my book, there's a Netflix sticker. We've got a movie coming soon.
Oh,
so
nice.
Super timely. So yeah, that episode will be out on the first Friday of June. So be sure to pick up a copy and read it by then if you want to discuss it with us.
Before we get to the last page, though, we'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully for real this time, for the catch-up episode where it's just your besties talking. You can listen to us on your podcast platform of choice, or if you'd rather watch your podcast, you can find us on YouTube at Read the Last Page and connect with us. Follow us, Instagram, I forgot all the places, Patreon, Discord.
Yeah,
for now, though, we want to say bye from B. Oh, we want to say bye from B and Dan. Bye. I don't know why, like, I just didn't see that part.